in my opinion. You understand? Because I don't want.
Isn't that pretty? Welcome, good evening. Welcome to the National Board of Comments. I am a Rasta for Life, your hostess of the mostess, the Princess Ainalem. Hope you're all having a wonderful weekend. Today's Sunday. I went to the concert in Central Park. It was so beautiful with Wayne Wonder, and he got his gold album, and Slick Rick and all these other wonderful entertainers from the 90s. It just brought me back to my days. It was fantastic. I had such a wonderful time. I posted the video of Wayne Wonders receiving the gold album, but I deleted it by mistake. But anyway, I didn't want to keep it up there because YouTube is funny with their copyrights, even though it's the actual person who's performing. But I have it on Facebook if you want to go see it, on Princess Ainalem Nembard over there by Facebook, and on IG Princess Ainalem. I have it there also, Princess Ainalem on IG and Princess Ainalem Nembard on Facebook. So I'm here now having my little Ciroc, contemplating the rest of the week. So I said, what should I do? And I'm watching, someone. And I said, you know what? Let me go on YouTube and talk about DONNALEE. Because we can't forget about her. We have to remember that this case was a missing case and turned into a, how should we say, a not so pleasant case, because I still cannot believe anything that I'm hearing, so I don't even want to say it. Now, based on the information that the police have, it's a case where she's no longer with us. And if that be the case, then someone is responsible for that. So when I think about her situation as not being with us, it's very sad. Because again, you have the elements of corruption, you have the elements of dishonesty, and you have ones who don't care about human life, that you're just easy to just discard and get rid of like you are nothing. And that's very hurtful, that you as a human being looks at somebody as if they are nothing, and you just take their life and go about your business. So in the case of DONNALEE, we have to keep on, because what's going to happen is, if ones go on as usual and forget about her, even though we think, oh well, nothing is going to come out of this. This case in Jamaica has opened up a can of worms. And if the judicial system believes that they can sweep this under the rug, they're not going to be able to, because the peoples of Jamaica have had enough of the injustice. Sooner or later, a people who cannot keep on keeping up with the injustices put upon them by the higher powers, something is going to erupt. And why I keep saying that this case with DONNALEE has opened up a can of worms, it's because the world is looking at what is going to happen with this case. Trust and believe, the world is looking. And if Jamaica thinks they're going to just forget about her, we're not going to let Jamaica forget about DONNALEE. I remember when I first heard about Andre Stevens, it was something to do with politics, and he was screaming and carrying on. And I was like, who is this guy? And I never really knew who he was, and so forth and so forth. And then, you know, I used to watch him here and there because I just like the way he presents himself. You know, the way he's very dramatic and stuff. So I kind of like the way he presented, you know, his arguments and stuff. So I used to watch him periodically. But I am amazed now that because he has this involvement with this case, the thousands of people who have now graduated towards him, right, based on his interest in the case. And again, like I said, that is a form of bandwagoning. That's an example, because if it wasn't for his involvement in this case, these thousands of people who are now in his midst, where were they in the beginning where he was just doing his little thing? Where were they? Where were all these thousands of people? How come now there's an interest in him, right, based on the DONNALEE case, but yet you don't see no real activity on the outside? I'm going to keep saying it, because the peoples of Jamaica, they like excitement and drama. And when it comes to human life, they like to play around. And it's not nice. You have missing people in Jamaica, you have missing children, you have missing this, you have missing that. Jamaica is populated with missing people and murdered off people, and there's no accountability for none of it. None. It's, oh, well, this, how much missing people, or how many people were murdered, and how, I mean, what is, and it's like, okay, y'all are counting numbers, but there's no resolution as to how can we take care of this problem. Jamaica's problems right now are missing people, including children, and murders. So, you know, something's out of control here. Something is definitely wrong here. And, you know, the outcry needs to be heard, because this is not going to be good. This is not going to be good. So we're not here to forget about DONNALEE. We have to keep on talking about DONNALEE. And we have to remember her. We cannot forget her. We cannot. My throat. We cannot. We have to keep pushing for her, because what happened to her, we don't know. What they did to her, we don't know. we're clueless as to what happened to DONNALEE. And you can point fingers, but are you pointing fingers in the right direction? So, is it a case of, well, if there's no body, then there's no crime? But there's a missing person who, according to the police probing, that there is a specific time of when she was killed, which is the time between 4 p.m. and 8 p.m. This is all I have heard, you know, to be factual news coming from the Jamaican Commission of Police. How do they know that? I don't know. We have to wait and see. But meanwhile, everything else that's happening other than the arrest, we don't know. We do know that there has been an arrest. And there can be many reasons why you are arrested. That hasn't been disclosed. That hasn't been disclosed. If the reason why he's been arrested or charged, what has he been charged with? That needs to be clear. That needs to be clear. What have they charged him with? Why he's under arrest? Those are legal questions that the layperson should be asking rather than jumping to conclusions. Because at this point in time, listening to all of the rest of this nonsense, I just have to use my own common sense and try to think rationally and clearly, you know, as to what could possibly be going on in the case of this case where they have him in custody. Good? Custody. Now, those words are very important. You have to know those words. You have to know the definitions in the legal terminologies. They're vast, very vast. So, before we start jumping to conclusions again, as much as we think that the police is lacking and the police, you know, system in Jamaica is lacking and so forth and so forth, other entities can be brought forward to help out the situation also, if they really want to get down to the bottom of this case about DONNALEE. But we as bloggers and, you know, even social media influencers, all of us on social media that's aware of this case, we need to keep being proactive and we need to keep talking about DONNALEE. And we need to keep this thing hot and heavy because we need to find out what happened to her. We can't just leave this, you know, to be another murder, missing case which is unsolved. So I'm trying to do my part in you know, contributing to the cause and even keeping it on a verbal thing where we need to know what happened to DONNALEE. We need to know What happened to DONNALEE? We need to know. Have a good day, guys. I'm a Rasta for Life, the National Board of Comments.